Hello, everybody. Scott Golden, Golden Opportunities Coaching here, and the Peel of Perception Twitter account as well. Today, we're going to talk about how not to fail at life. Everybody talks about success, and a lot of people are looking at, how can I make the most out of my life? How can I get the most out of my life experiences? How can I do the things that no one else does? But they don't think about the fact that the opposite of success is failure. And that if you focus on ways not to fail, you'll be a lot closer to success. So, how do you not fail at life? There's a lot of things one can do to make sure that failure is away from you. The first thing is choose your focus. Be progressive minded. One of the reasons we call what we do here the Progress Tribe is because I and my team fully understand that progress and happiness are completely interlinked with each other. And they're completely interlinked only because when you are making progress, you're not focused on the past, which means you're not focused on what didn't work, which means you're in the flow of energy and growth that allows you to reach your own objectives. Another thing, too, is don't focus your self-value on what other people think. One of these audios is going to be about self-esteem. Self-esteem has nothing to do with anything outside of you. If you're focused on what other people think, you're bound to fail in some way because you're giving them the power that you could be using to create the progress in the creation of the life that you desire. Another thing to consider is focus on learning new things every day. Find the balance. One of the keys to avoiding failure is remaining in balance at all times, resetting your beliefs about yourself every single month, quarter, or year. The reason is because most often the experiences we have will influence how we see ourselves. When you begin to get really serious about life, there are going to be people that say a lot of things. Some negative, some positive, some neutral, some defeating, some frustrating, some encouraging. But it's what you do with what you hear that's going to determine your level of success. You must become really good at discerning that which is leading to progress and that which is leading you away from feeling empowered. Care about how you feel more than about how you're seen. When you care about how you feel, you're also then able to identify the ways in which you can relook at certain things that you're doing, people you're surrounding yourself with, and ultimately look at the nature of your growth and contribution to society as something that either needs to evolve or expand, or something that's a little out of balance because it's taking too much from you. Again, coming back to the center of balance is essential because it is through balance that progress is possible. Progress is the opposite of failure. Therefore, when we are in balance, we are sure to progress. Also, self-forgiveness, which we've done previous audios on, is essential to avoiding failure. If you are holding on to a view of yourself that is not progressive, a view of yourself that is stuck in what has already happened, you will set yourself up to fail at your own standards or your own expectations of self. And when you begin to do that, really, what you're doing is saying, I don't think that I am more than what I used to be, and I don't think it's possible to be more than I used to be. Do not focus on group thinking mentality. If you have anything in your life that matters to you greatly, but it causes you to have a thought, feeling, or opinion that you hold only because other people hold it, only because a group of individuals hold it, evaluate that on a regular basis, because group thinking can actually take you away from progress. When you are holding a belief and you don't know why you hold it, you're letting in the ability for your personal power and use of your time and use of your energy and use of your focus, and therefore the meaning you give to your life, to be controlled by other people. Now, sometimes this is done through political movements, sometimes this is done through organized religion, sometimes this is done through family conception or friendships. The point is, if you aren't making a decision, an active one, that is to make the choice to believe something or to reject it, there's a danger there in falling into what's known as the failure of group thinking, which is holding a belief system that isn't really yours. I would say a good 85 to 90% of the clients I deal with on one level or another have this challenge. And then when they when they begin to realize that they hold 1, 2, 4, 8, or dozens of beliefs that aren't really theirs, they're given by somebody else, and those beliefs are the very things that cause them to hold themselves back, then it's really a struggle. Now, know what you know and ask what you don't. The balance between asking questions powerfully, but also claiming the knowledge that you have as though you belong, is another way to guard against failure. Look, if you know you're not good at something, if you know that as a professional you're not good at returning phone calls, but they need to get done, find someone who's good at it. Don't try and force yourself to be something you're not. But at the same time, if you don't have access to someone else doing something for you, if you don't have access to somebody else, helping you to restore your relationship, or someone else helping you to get to a certain level in the work life, learn the skill. Be a student of life. You see, every person in life can be a student, that is, learn something from you, and a teacher, which means to teach you something, even if they're teaching you what not to do. Sit in a space of observation of people, not judgment. Now, what does that mean? Look, everyone's opinion is entitled to them because they have the freedom of choice and freedom of focus. Just because you don't agree with an opinion doesn't mean it doesn't have value. Just because you don't agree with an opinion doesn't mean it doesn't have a benefit or a group of people for whom it works. If you want to avoid failure, if you do not want to fail in life, you have to stop believing that your beliefs are any more or less, here again the key, valuable than someone else's. The arrogance to believe that your opinion matters more than someone else's is to set yourself up for failure, because you will defend, which is unnecessary, creating resistance, your belief system. Now, when you defend a belief system, and there's a difference between defend and discuss, which we'll get to in a moment. Discussion is the ability to exchange ideas. Defending is the need or the compulsion to try to convince another person that your ideas are better, more well-suited, more important, more valuable than their own. And that becomes a problem, especially when individuals are trying to find a certain level of specific value to whatever is in front of them. Now, the commonality of people is we all want to be liked, we all want to be valued, we all want to feel significant. So, here's another way to avoid failure. Give people opportunities to feel significant even when you don't understand them. Something as simple as asking a powerful question of someone with whom you don't have much common ground can create feelings of significance, which means they'll help you later if you are willing and able and capable of seeing someone from where they are. Any misunderstanding can be worked through. Any misunderstanding can be talked through. If you truly want to succeed at relationships, focus on finding common ground more than you focus on being right. To avoid failure in relationships is to understand that the value of communication is just the exchange of ideas, not one person being right or wrong. Therefore, the importance of having a progressive or destructive mindset, key there, different from right or wrong mindset, is the following. If you have a progressive or destructive mindset, meaning that an action taken is either leading to progress or leading to self-destruction, leading to progress or leading away from progress, then it becomes easier not to fail. When you look at it as black and white, not necessarily right or wrong, but is this moving me forward or moving me backwards, you're going to begin to look at things that move you backwards, whether it's indulging in too much alcohol, having too many sexual partners, having excessive spending habits, having an addictive personality trait that comes out and affects you in one way or another. You'll begin to look at these as destructive habits that block your progress, and then you'll look at them and go, do I really want to give this much value to this thing, this habit, or this series of behaviors? Here's the reality. You're not broken, but your way of living might be breaking you. The important thing and distinction there is the following. If you are not making progress, something is breaking you on the inside. The misnomer and the common misconception within popular society is that there's this big divide between the classes. Now, that's not to say that there aren't people with more or less money. But in reality, everyone has the same level of ability to be successful. However, many do not have the stick-to-itiveness, internal commitments to meet with their success. If you truly want to succeed, make your commitments more important than your feelings. And I know that's going to be a sticking point for a good number of people. Oh, I feel this way, therefore it's too hard to keep going. It's too hard to grow that way. It's too hard to follow through. It's too hard to go to the gym. It's too hard to break away from toxic people. It's too hard to outgrow certain people in my life. No, it's not too hard. It's just your focus isn't in alignment with what you truly desire. Get obsessive about being and staying focused. Don't necessarily obsess about the goal, but obsess about your commitment to make progress and your ability to respond to your goals appropriately. To avoid failure is to understand it's not keep trying, it's keep progressing. The brain, believe it or not, for most people, and research has been done around this, connects the idea of try and fail. Because in linguistics, we are associated, well, I tried, but I failed. I tried, but I fell short. So the word try, which is often not a progressive word for many people, often leads to failures because a person goes in with a mindset that is somewhat limited, with a belief system that says it's not going to work for me, and then the circumstances will show up to be less than. Keep learning from everyone, but also understand that every opportunity you've ever had, other people have had before you. They just haven't had it in the same way. So become a student of studying those who are doing or have done what you're trying to do relationally, professionally, spiritually, and then make it your own. Formulate your own feelings, emotions, thoughts, and opinions around whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, and then make it personal to you so that your why is your motivating factor. Don't ever try to be a carbon copy of someone else, and don't try to have the life that your parents, your friends, your spouse, or anyone else thinks you should have if you don't believe in it. Instead, focus upon the idea that you can want the same things, desire the same things, put effort towards the same things in a unique way. If you truly want to avoid failure, don't get into the illusion of competition or comparison. It doesn't matter what anyone else has done if you're trying to do your own version of it, if you're trying to blaze your own trail. Instead, what matters is you believing and having the strength and wisdom to know the value of your work towards something while still learning and gathering information and emotional connectedness, emotional intelligence from the experiences of others. The more you look for connection and things that are interconnected, the easier it will be to find success and avoid failure. The more you isolate yourself from the belief that you're the only person who has ever been through a certain set of circumstances, the more you give in to that isolation, the harder it will be to achieve anything less than what you do not want. The more you look for those opportunities, the easier it becomes to succeed and really own your life. Until next time, this is Scott Golden, Golden Opportunities Coaching. I remind you, we still have our subscriber drive, so subscribe, like, comment below. What are you trying to overcome a preoccupation with failure about? In the comments below. Also, when the subscriber drive is complete at 100 subscribers, we're giving away a $400 value package. So certainly share, like, and comment. Would love to help you more. Keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.